Here's what's so great about Jimmy G, and I love him. I defend him. I don't care how bad he plays. I defend him because I see a lot of him. I see a lot of me in him. And the fact about he just goes out and plays, and it's almost like, oh, I'm that bad? Oh, I didn't know I was that bad. And it doesn't bother him. I love the guy. I love the way he delivers the football. There are two quarterbacks I love watching throw the football, Tom Brady and Garoppolo. I love the way they deliver the football.
Terry Bradshaw is right. Throughout all of my years of watching the NFL, I've never seen someone take more criticism than the Italian stallion Jimmy Garoppolo. I constantly find myself so confused as to why people don't necessarily dislike him, but just don't take him serious. Jimmy plays well, which happens pretty often. People just give excuses as to why he played well. The case is never that Jimmy gives his guys great passes or he's a great decision maker and gets rid of the ball faster than the defense can process the play, which is all true, but it's never mentioned. The only thing I hear is it's because of the guys around him, and Kyle Shanahan does a great job of scheming things open. He's a game manager. Like, what does that even mean, bro? He does his job. There's no such thing as a game manager. You either do your job well or not, and Jimmy does his job well. This was the guy that saved San Francisco. He gave them life after a team went through 3 years of what felt like hell. People don't talk about how he came in 2017 and won them 5 straight games after starting 1-10, or the fact that he outdueled Drew Brees in the Superdome, or the fact that he has multiple game-winning drives under his belt, because they don't want to, because the narrative is the narrative. Jimmy has to be structured. He needs everything around him to be perfect. No, he doesn't. Not in 2017 he didn't. That argument makes no sense anyway. Nothing is ever perfect for a quarterback. You have a job to do, and only 32 people in the world can get the keys to that car. Not only is Jimmy Garoppolo playing the best football of his career, but he's playing as well as QBs considered to be the best by the majority. I can break it all down easily. I've been waiting to do it, so let's not waste another second. The one thing I love about Jimmy Garoppolo is the thing that he's best at is looked at as a weakness, but it's not. I hear Jimmy get excuses for his stats. For example, he has the most yak per completion, but he's also top 5 in yards per pass attempt. You know who's right behind Jimmy G in yards after catch per completion? Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow. Jimmy is at 6.9, Mahomes at 6.1, and Burrow at 5.9. And that's not just from this year. This is dating back to the past 2 seasons. And it's kind of funny too how all 3 of those QBs have been to a Super Bowl. Yak is a big part of this ever-changing league, and coaches know that, so they're going to do whatever it takes to make it a part of their offense. It's not a detriment to the quarterback either. That's a strength. Finding your receiver fast and getting the ball in his hands is what a lot of offense are predicated on, and every offense is about making a decision that isn't the worst one. 5 receivers go out for a pass, maybe 2 are open, and maybe 1 is a better option, and you have to make the choice. Jimmy does that well. He processes information as fast as anyone. He gets the ball out as fast as anyone, and that results in receivers being able to make plays. I'm not going to take away all the credit from guys like Debo and Ayuk for getting their yards because they deserve the credit, but Jimmy is just as big a part of that as they are. Because besides the occasional screen he'll throw, those big plays don't happen without Jimmy making the right read, which again is exactly what he's great at and what he does as consistently as any other quarterback. The quarterback position is an art, and it has to be met with patience. It isn't going to blow you away all the time. If you picture a quarterback's stats and plays like a canvas that someone's going to make a painting on, there's a few times where you'll get bored. You don't want to see the artist sculpt the outline of his landscape or mix his colors around because it doesn't amaze you. You know what you're paying to see, and that's the final product. Like an artist, a quarterback needs to get a feel for his canvas, and that's not always going to look pretty or make a lot of sense. Short passes are necessary sometimes. A 1 touchdown week is just going to happen. A receiver breaking a tackle for a long gain will happen. A big play isn't always going to be because you threw the ball 40 yards in the air. If one artist paints a bit different or uses a different brush or different colors than other artists, why complain if the end result is a beautiful painting? Jimmy slices up defenses in the intermediate game as well as Josh Allen does that deep. Jimmy makes his decisions as fast as Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't get scared. He doesn't care what you throw at him. He never wavers. Before I show you some videos showing you just how good Jimmy actually is, I have some very interesting stats that do that for me as well. The guy who has the highest completion percentage since 2019 with a minimum of 45 games played is Jimmy at 68.3. The next closest guy is Derek Carr at 67.6. And people say it's because he gets easy completions. Maybe he gets easy completions because he makes the right decision more often. Highest passer rating since 2019 with a minimum of 45 games played Jimmy is 6th, only behind Aaron Rodgers, Mahomes, Cousins, Tannehill, and Wilson. And they're the only ones to have a 100.0 passer rating or better, including Jimmy. First down percentage on third down throws this season. Jimmy is 6th, behind Mahomes, Tua, Allen, Burrow, and Hurts. There's no excuse to why he's good. He's just good. The truth is, every quarterback gets an easy completion. Every QB gets yards after the catch. Every good quarterback has a good coach with a smart game plan, a winning formula, which is balanced football. Every good quarterback is good for similar reasons, even though they also have certain strengths and do things better than other quarterbacks. Some great examples I could find about Jimmy being one of the best pocket passers come from games like this. 2019 against Arizona, where he threw for 4 touchdowns. This came on a 3rd and 11, this play, in the 4th quarter. And right here, watch pressure come up to Garoppolo. It gets right in his face and it doesn't faze him. He isn't even able to step up or put full strength in this throw. This is an all-arm laser to Sanders. Fading away, he puts it low and fits it in between 3 Cardinal defenders as they're bearing down on him. And he does that all the time. It's not just a one-time thing. He's fearless over the middle. He does this all the time. He doesn't give a shit. It's just what a lot of quarterbacks lack, and that's fearlessness. 2019 against the Rams. These are 2 plays from the same game on the same drive, and they're both 3rd and 16s that he converted. And it's not the fact that he converted these that separates him. It's just the fact that so many quarterbacks won't dare to make this throw because they don't believe they can. Again, pressure in his face. This first one to Kendrick Bourne, he just fires a strike in between defenders, no hesitation. Couldn't even step up. And the second throw too, right here, he has even more pressure in his face. And if Stafford or Brady or Rodgers made this throw, it's a miracle, but nobody talks about it the same way if it's Jimmy. But you see how many guys are hunting down on him right here. He isn't able to step up. It's all arm. Like he can't even see his target well. He just kind of chucks it up there and his arm gets hit as well while he's throwing it. And he lays it almost perfectly in stride downfield. And that's not easy. Even though he's wide open, that is one of the hardest throws a quarterback can make. 2021 against LA, he was down 17 points and he led the comeback with the offense. And this play to Debo on the game-winning drive, it's just perfect. Gets out of the pressure, and again, people don't think Jimmy's arm is all that special, but he fits so many passes into these tight windows, and he puts it slightly back shoulder because he sees Ramsey playing underneath. The Rams are playing a soft shell coverage, and it's going to open up a small window for a second for Jimmy, and he fits it in. Now, this is 2017. It's against the Bears, and this was Jimmy's first start as a 49er, and I'm mainly showing this. It was long ago, not too long ago, but I'm mainly showing this because it's one of my favorite throws, if not my favorite throw from Jimmy that he's ever made. It's up there. He's had a lot of good ones. It's 3rd and 8, and just watch this pass. Again, pressure in his face. He does this all the time, man. He lays it out there perfectly to Trent Taylor. It's a dime, bro. You cannot throw it better. You cannot walk over to him and hand it off better. He couldn't have. Impossible. He threw it perfectly. It's 3rd down again. And it's just something that he's good at. 3rd down, man. Something about that 3rd down. He's so good at it because he knows exactly where he wants to go pretty much all the time. And even if there's a slightly open hole, he'll take the shot. You know, I used to say, I know Jimmy is no Mahomes, Burrow, or Allen, but he's still good. Fuck that. Jimmy is no Mahomes, Burrow, or Allen, and they're no Jimmy Garoppolo. Being able to carve up defenses constantly over the middle all the time is no mistake or product of luck. Just think about it. How many times have you seen Jimmy throw over the middle and nobody can stop it? Well, he must be pretty damn good at it then. Josh Allen's trigger happy. Mahomes can scramble for days. Rodgers is a back shoulder demon. Lamar can juke anyone. Every quarterback has his strengths, and every great quarterback has a specific strength that teams can't stop but only can hope to contain. Jimmy has it. Sometimes I don't even know what it is, but I just see Jimmy throw the football and I just like to watch it. The way it shoots out, his release, his stance, like it almost has Riz. Like the way he throws the ball has a literal flirtation to it. And what's so great about it, and what Terry said before,
he just goes out and plays it, and it's almost like, oh, I'm that bad? Oh, I didn't know I was that bad. And it doesn't bother him.
Yeah, no matter who says what, he probably doesn't even hear it anyway. He thinks he's good, and he has a right to think that, and he's right to think that. He's been to a Super Bowl, 2 NFC championships, and by the way, he looks pretty damn good too. Man, I just had to throw it in there. Come Sunday, no matter if he has 2 interceptions or 3 touchdowns, he's going to keep slinging it. And whatever critics say on Monday, he unequivocally, unapologetically does not give a fuck.
How How does that feel?
Feels great, baby.